So we'll start with the module 3, that is 8051 programming in C and 8051 timer programming in assembly language and C language. The topics covered in 8051 programming in C are data types and time delay, I/O programming, logic operations, data conversion programs, accessing code ROM space, and data serialization. And in 8051 timer programming in assembly and C language are programming 8051 timers, counter programming, programming timers 0 and 1 in 8051 C. Why program 8051 in C language? So the compilers, they produce the hex files which has to be downloaded to the ROM of microcontroller, and the size of hex file is large and it is of major concern. Also the microcontrollers, they have limited on-chip ROM, and the code space for 8051 it is limited to 64 kilobytes. The C programming, it is less time consuming compared to assembly language programming, but it has larger hex file size. The reason for writing the programs in C language for 8051 are it is easier and less time consuming to write the C language program than assembly language program, and it is easier to modify and update the program. Also, we can use the codes available in the function libraries, and the C code it is portable to other microcontrollers with less modification needed. Next is data types. So a good understanding of the C data types for 8051, it can help the programmers to create smaller hex files. So we have the different data types, that is unsigned char, unsigned int, S bit, that is single bit, and bit and SFR. So let us see the different data types. So unsigned char, the character data type, it is the most natural choice for the programmers since microcontroller 8051 is 8-bit. The unsigned char, it is an 8-bit data type and the range is 0 to 255 or 00 to FFH. So it is the most widely used data type for 8051. It can be used as counter value and for ASCII characters. The C compilers, they use the signed char as the default data type if the keyword unsigned is not used. Let us see examples for unsigned char data type. So first program we have is write an 8051C program to send values 00 to FF to port P1. So for C programs which is written for 8051, we have to include the reg51 header file, and then in the main function we have the variable z declared as unsigned char, and then to send the values 00 to FF, we have to vary the value of z from 0 to 255. So we are using the for loop to vary the value of z from 0 to 255, and each time the value of z will be copied to port 1 P1. And then next program, write an 8051C program to send hex values for ASCII characters 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C and D to port P1. So in the main function, we have the array mynum declared as unsigned char and it is assigned the ASCII characters, and then variable z is declared as unsigned char. So we have 10 characters in the array mynum. So 10 ASCII characters are stored in the array mynum. So it has to be sent, that is hex value of the ASCII character has to be sent to port 1. So we are using for loop, and in each iteration of the for loop, that is the increment of z is done, and each time the ASCII character from mynum array is accessed and the hex value of it is sent to port P1. Next data type is signed char. So it is also an 8-bit data type. The MSB D7 bit is used to represent whether the number is positive or negative, that is unsigned or signed number. The range is from -128 to +127. So if the data has to be represented as signed number, then we have to use signed char data type. Else unsigned char data type can be used. So example is write an 8051C program to send values -4 to +4 to port P1. So in the main function, we have declared the mynum, that is array, as unsigned char. So in the array, we have stored the values from -4 to +4. And then we are declaring one more variable z as unsigned char. Then to send the 8 values to port 1, we have used for loop, and z is varied from 0 to 8. And the value from mynum array is accessed and it is copied to port 1 in each trial of for loop. Next data type is unsigned int. So it is a 16-bit data type. So the range of values is from 0 to 65,535 or from 0000h to FFFFH. So we can define 16-bit variables such as memory addresses using this data type. Also we can set the counter value for more than 256. Since the registers and the memory accesses, they are in 8-bit chunks, there is chance of misuse of the unsigned int variables, which will result in the hexafile size increasing. Next data type is signed int. So it is also a 16-bit data type, and the MSB, that is D15 bit, is used to represent whether the number is signed or unsigned. And the rest 15 bits are used for the magnitude of the number. The range is from -32,768 to +32,767. Now let us see the example for unsigned int. So write a 8051 C program to toggle bit D0 of the port P1 50,000 times. So we have to access the port 1's D0 bit. So we are using the S bit data type. Since single bit of the SFR register is to be accessed, we use this data type S bit. And then in the main function, we have declared a variable z as unsigned int. And then since the D0 bit has to toggle 50,000 times, we are using for loop, and in each iteration of the for loop, the P1.0, that is D0 bit of port 1, is toggled. So it is assigned to mybit variable. So mybit variable is assigned 0 value and 1 value in the for loop, and this will toggle the D0 bit for 50,000 times. Next data type is bit and SFR. So the bit data type, it is used to access single bits of the bit addressable memory space, that is 20 to 2FH. And to access the byte size SFR register, we use the SFR data type. So let us see the data type, the size in bits, and the data range or its usage. So unsigned char, it is of 8-bit and the range is 0 to 255. Signed char, it is of 8-bit. The range is -128 to +127. Unsigned int, it is of 16-bit. Range is from 0 to 65,535. Signed int, it is of 16-bit. The range is from 32,000 -32,768 to +32,767. S bit, it is of 1 bit and usage is SFR bit addressable only. Bit, it is also 1 bit. Usage is RAM bit addressable only, 20 to 2FH. SFR, it is of 8-bit byte size and usage is RAM addresses 80 to FFH only, that is for SFR registers. Next topic is time delay. So there are two ways to create time delay in 8051C. One is using the 8051 timers and another is using simple for loop. So while we use the simple for loop, we have to have the three factors considered which can affect the accuracy of the delay. One is the 8051 design. So in that we have to know the number of machine cycles and the number of clock periods per machine cycle. And then the crystal frequency which is connected to the X1 and X2 input pins. And then the compiler choice. Because C compiler, it converts the C statement and the functions to assembly language instruction, and different compilers, they produce different code. So let us see example for the time delay caused using the simple for loops. So write an 8051C program to toggle bits of port 1 continuously with some delay. So in the main function we have the variable x declared as unsigned int, and then since the p1 has to be toggled continuously, the for loop there is no condition mentioned, and then the port 1 p1 is assigned the value 55 and a delay is introduced using the for loop, and then port 1 is assigned AA value and again the delay is introduced. So 55 and AA value is assigned to port 1 so that we will be able to see the toggling happening between each bits in the port 1. Next topic is IO programming. So in that we have byte size IO programming. So example we have is LEDs are connected to bits P1 and P2. So write an 8051C program that shows the count from 00 to FFH on the LEDs. So we have used a label LED for port 2. So hash define statement is used to assign label to the port 2 which is byte accessible. And then in the main function we have port 1 cleared and then port 2 is also cleared using the label LED. And then for loop is used without any condition since the counting from 00 to FF has to be done continuously. And then in the for loop we are incrementing port 1 and port 2. So P1++ is used to increment port 1 and the label LED is used to increment port 2 LED++. Next example, write an 8051C program to get a byte of data from port 1 and wait for half second and then send it to port 2. So we are writing a function ms delay for introducing a half second delay. Then in the main function we have the variable myByte declared using unsigned char data type, and then we are assigning value to port 1, and then for the continuous process of getting the byte of data from port 1 and then sending it to port 2 after a delay of half second, we are using while loop. And then in the while loop we are assigning the value of port 1 to myByte, and then the ms delay function is called, and then myByte value is assigned to port 2. So by this the value from port 1 or the byte of data from port 1 is sent to port 2. Next example, write an 8051C program to get a byte of data from port 0, and if it is less than 100 then send it to port 1, otherwise send it to port 2. So in the program we have the main function written, in that the myByte variable is declared as unsigned char, and then we are assigning value to port 0 P0, and then in the while loop we are assigning the value of port 0 to myByte and then checking the myByte. If it is less than 100, assign the value of myByte to port 1, else assign the value of myByte to port 2. Next we have is bit addressable IO programming. So example we have write an 8051C program to toggle only bit P2.4 continuously without disturbing the rest of the bits of port P2. So the port 2's D4 bit has to be toggled, so it is assigned to the variable myBit using the data type sBit. Sbit is the data type for accessing single bit of the addressable memory, that is port P0 to P3 they are bit addressable, so we can access the single bit of ports using the sBit data type. And then we write the main function. In the main function we have the while loop, and inside the while loop we are assigning the value 1 and 0 to myBit, which is nothing but assigning 1 and 0 to D4 bit of port 2. By this we are toggling the bit of port 2, that is D4 bit of port 2 is toggled continuously. Next program, write an 8051C program to monitor bit P1.5. If it is high, send 55H to P0, otherwise send AAH to P2. So again we are assigning the port 1's D5 bit to my bit variable using the data type S bit, and then in the main function we are assigning 1 to the my bit variable, that is we are assigning 1 value to the port 1.5, that is D5 bit of port 1, and then in the while loop we are checking whether my bit is equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, then assign 55H value to port 0, else assign AAH value to port 2. Next we have accessing SFR addresses 80 to FFH. So example we have, write an 8051C program to toggle all the bits of port P0, P1 and P2 continuously with a 250 millisecond delay. Use SFR keyword to declare the port address. So SFR keyword is used to access the SFR registers in the RAM space 80 to FFH. So we are assigning the port address to the variable P0, P1, P2 using the SFR data type. And then we have the ms delay function written to introduce the delay. And then in the main function we are having the while loop in which we are assigning the value 55H to P0, P1 and P2, and then we are calling the function ms delay to introduce delay. So now the value of P0, P1, P2 is assigned with AAH, and then again ms delay function is called. So we are assigning value 55 to the ports P0, P1, P2 and then calling the delay, and then we are assigning the value AAH to P0, P1, P2. So using these two values, that is 55 and AA, we can see the toggling happening between each bit of the ports. Next example, write an 8051C program to turn bit P1.5 on and off 50,000 times. So we have to access the single bit of port 1, that is D5 bit. So the address of it has to be assigned to the variable. So the address of P1.5 is 95, which is assigned to my bit variable using the S bit data type. And then in the main function we have variable Z declared using unsigned int data type. And then for loop is written to have the bit D5 of port 1 turned on and off 50,000 times. So that value is varied from 0 to 50,000, and my bit is assigned 1 and 0 value in the for loop, so that P1.5 is turned on and off 50,000 times. Next we have using bit data type for bit addressable RAM in IO programming. So let us see an example. Write an 8051C program to get the status of bit P1.0, then save it and then send it to P2.7 continuously. So we have assigned P1.0 bit to in-bit variable using the S-bit data type. Similarly, P2.7 is assigned to outbit using S-bit data type, and then membit is declared using bit data type. And then in the main function we have the while loop, and then in-bit is assigned to membit, that is P1.0 is assigned to membit, that is getting the bit from P1.0, and then membit is assigned to outbit, that is sending the value to P2.7. Next topic is logic operations. In that we have logical operators, that is AND, OR and NOT, and bitwise operators bit AND, bit OR, XOR, inverter, shift right and shift left. So we can see the table where the AND operation, OR operation and XOR operation for the two input bits A and B is shown, and the inverter operation for bit B is shown. Let us see the example for bitwise operators in C. So the program is written. In the main function we have P0 assigned with the value of 35 bit and with 0F. P1 is assigned the value of 0F or with 68. P2 is assigned the value of 54 XOR 78. And P0 is assigned the inverse of 55. P1 is assigned the value of 9A after shifting right 3 bits, and P2 is assigned the value of 77 after shifting right 4 bits, and P0 is assigned the value of 06 after shifting left 4 bits. So we have the output P0, that is 35 bit and with 0F as 05, and P1 04 or with 68, that is 6C, P2 54 XOR 78 as 2C, P0 inverse of 55 as AA, P1 9A after shift right 3 bits as 13, P2 77 after shift right 4 bits as 07, P0 06 after shift left 4 bits as 60. Next example, write an 8051C program to toggle all the bits of P0 and P2 continuously with a 250 millisecond delay. Use the inverting and XOR operators respectively. So in the main function we have assigned P0 equal to 55 and P2 equal to 55 initially. And then in the while loop we have inverted the value of P0. So we get it as AA. And then P2 is P2 XOR with FF. So P2 is 0101 0101, FF is 1111 1111. So XOR operation is 0101 0101, that is AA. So P2 will be AA, and then delay function is called with a delay of 250 millisecond. Then once again while loop is executed. So P0 will be negated. So we get 55, and P2 will be again negated. We get 55, and then the delay function is called. So in this way all the bits of both P0 and P2 will be toggled with a delay of 250 millisecond. Next example, write an 8051C program to get bit P1.0 and send it to P2.7 after inverting it. So we have the program written. So first we'll include the REG51 header file, and then the P1.0 is assigned to in-bit variable using the S-bit data type, and P2.7 is assigned to out-bit variable using the S-bit data type. And then we declare a variable membit as bit data type. Then in the main function, in the while loop, we are assigning the in-bit value to membit, that is we are getting the bit from P1.0. Since in-bit is assigned the value of P1.0, we are getting the bit from P1.0 and assigning it to membit. And then the inverted value of membit is assigned to outbit. That is, we are inverting the value of P1.0 and then sending it to P2.7, which is assigned to outbit. Next topic is data conversion. So the microcontrollers, they have real-time clock, that is RTC. So the RTC provides time of the day in hour, minute, second format, and date in year, month, day format continuously, regardless whether there is power or not. So this data, it will be in packed BCD format. So if this data has to be displayed on a LCD device, then it has to be in ASCII format, or if it has to be printed by the printer, then it should be in ASCII format. So we require the conversion from packed BCD to ASCII. The first data conversion we have is packed BCD to ASCII. So packed BCD number, it should be converted to unpacked BCD and then to ASCII. So packed BCD number, if it is 29H, then the unpacked BCD number will be 02H and 09H. So in unpacked BCD, the BCD number will be represented by the lower 4 bits and the higher 4 bits will be 0. And then we add 30 to get the ASCII form. So we get 32 and 39. So let us see an example to illustrate this. Write an 8051C program to convert packed BCD 29 to ASCII and display the bytes in port P1 and P2. So we have the program written. So in the main function we have declared the three variables x, y, z and then the variable myByte in unsigned char data type. So myByte is assigned the value 29 and then we have x equal to 29 bit and with 0f. So we get it as 09. And then port P1 is X or with 30. So we get it as 39. And then Y is 29 bit and with F0. So we get it as 20. So we have to get unpacked BCD 02. So we shift right 4 bits. So we get Y equal to 02. And then port P2 is Y or with 30. That is 32. So the 29 packed BCD number is converted to ASCII number which is displayed in P2 and P1 port, that is 32 and 39. Next we have ASCII to packed BCD conversion. So ASCII number should be converted to unpacked BCD which will be converted to packed BCD. So ASCII digit 4 and 7, which is nothing but 34 and 37, will be converted to unpacked BCD, that is 04 and 07 by getting rid of 3, and then it is converted to packed BCD, so it will be 47. So let us see an example to illustrate this. So write an 8051C program to convert ASCII digits 4 and 7 to packed BCD and display them on port P1. So we have the program written. So in the main function we have declared the variable BCD byte and then W and Z. So W is assigned the value 4 which is ASCII digit and Z is assigned the ASCII digit 7. So then we have W equal to 4 bit and with 0f. So we get it as 04. And then we are having shift left 4 bits, so we get W as 40. And then Z is Z bit and 0f, that is 7 bit and 0f, so we get it as 07. And then BCD byte, it is W or with Z, that is 40 plus 07, that is 47, and then it is assigned to P1. So we can see the ASCII digit 4 and 7 is first converted to unpacked BCD 04 and 07 and then converted to packed BCD, that is 47, which is stored in port P1.
Checksum byte in ROM to ensure the integrity of ROM content. The system must perform the checksum calculation. So this process of calculation, it will detect any corruption in the data in ROM. So the data is corrupted in ROM due to current surge either when the system is turned on or during the operation. So to ensure the data integrity in ROM, we have to perform this checksum calculation. So it uses the checksum byte. So this checksum byte, it is an extra byte which is tagged to the end of the series of bytes of data. So to calculate the checksum byte of a series of bytes of data, the following steps are to be followed. So first add the bytes and then ignore the carry or drop the carry, and then take 2's complement of the total sum, which will be the checksum byte. So if this value is 00, then it means the data is not corrupted, else the data is corrupted. So this checksum byte, it will become the last byte of the series of data. So let us see an example. Write an 8051C program to calculate the checksum byte for the data 25H, 62H, 3FH and 52H. So first we have to add the series of data, that is 25 plus 62 plus 3F plus 52. So adding this series of data, we get the result as 118H. So ignore the carry, that is drop the carry. So we have the value 18H. So find the 2's complement of it. So we get it as E8. So this is the checksum byte. So it is not equal to 0, which means the data is corrupted. So let us see the program written to illustrate this process. So we have in the main function my data array declared, which has the values 25H, 62H, 3FH and 52H. So the series of data is stored in the array my data, and then we have a variable sum declared, it is assigned value 0, and then variable x is declared and one more variable checksum byte. So to add the 4 series of data, we have the for loop varying from 0 to 4, that is x value is varied from 0 to 4, and we are fetching the series of data from the array and adding it to the sum variable, and then the total sum is assigned to P1. So then we have to find the 2's complement of it. So checksum byte is negation of sum plus 1. So we get the 2's complement of the total sum and it is assigned to P1, that is to port 1. Next example, write an 8051C program to perform the checksum operation to ensure the data integrity. If the data is good, then send the ASCII character G to port 0, otherwise send B to port 0. So we have the data 25H, 62H, 3FH, 52H and E8H. So then it is added and then we are finding the 2's complement of it after dropping out the carry, and then this checksum value, that is the 2's complement of the total sum, is checked whether it is 0. If it is 0, then the data is not corrupted. So assign character G to port 0, else assign character B to port 0. Next conversion is binary to decimal and ASCII. So in device such as analog to digital converter, the data it is provided in binary form. Also in some real-time clocks, time and date is provided in binary form. To display this data which is in binary form, we have to convert it into ASCII. So the binary data, it has to be converted to ASCII. So first it has to be converted to decimal form and then to ASCII. To represent this binary data, we can use the hexadecimal form. So the hexadecimal format of the binary data, it will be converted to decimal form. So this is done by dividing the hexadecimal number by 10. So by which we will get the decimal equivalent of the hexadecimal number. So let us see an example. Write an 8051C program to convert 11111101 to decimal and display the digits in port P0, P1 and P2. So 11111101 binary form is FD in hex. So this has to be converted to decimal. So first we divide the hexadecimal number FD by 0A. So we get the quotient as 19 and the remainder as 3. And then the quotient 19 is divided by 0A. So we get the quotient 0, 2 and the remainder is 5. And once again we divide the quotient 0, 2 by 0a, and now we get the quotient 0 and the remainder is 2. So in the program we have loaded the FD value to bin byte, and then we are dividing it by 0a and the result is stored in X. And then to find the remainder we have modulus 10 operation done on bin byte. So D1 is FD mod 10, so we get the remainder in D1, and then D2 is 19 mod 10, so we get the remainder 5 in D2. D3 is 19 divided by 0a, so we get it as 2. So D1 is having 3, D2 is having 5 and D3 is having 2 value. So we are loading D1 to P0, D2 to P1 and D3 to P2 port. So we get the hexadecimal number FD converted to the decimal number, that is 253, which is displayed in the port P2, P1 and P0.